We're here in Amsterdam at the Chainges event, and we're here with PIVX. The first question is easiest one. Could you please introduce yourself?
So I'm Chad. I'm part of the marketing team for PIVX, and I'm from Canada. Yeah.
All good things. So PIVX, you're doing like a workshop, or you're doing a presentation over here, or?
So I was asked by Vincent from Chainges to come and talk about specifically how our branding philosophy and branding from Darknet, which was the name of the coin before, to a new name, which ended up being PIVX. And then the journey from there for about a year and a half to now of how we've marketed and that philosophy underpins kind of our message, and as well as talking about the tech and the awesome team we have all over PIVX. Yeah, it's a great team.
Is it actually hard to market a crypto brand or a blockchain brand, or?
I would say yes. It's a different product, especially when there's money involved. There's a lot of emotion, but we take the same philosophy with all our brands and all the companies that we help. We try and start with what's the story, what's the narrative, and can we create what we call a love mark, not a logo, a brand. It's something that people can't do without. So that's where we bring in more community, emotion, trying to help people to join the tribe as opposed to just buy the product, right? So combination. We want people to purchase, to buy PIVX, to trade, to invest, but we also want them to be part of the family, part of the tribe.
Yeah, so what's actually the narrative of PIVX? I mean, it's a hard fork of Dash. That's how I, as a basic newbie, know it. So maybe you can tell more about it.
So it's a code fork of Dash. But pretty much instantly, once the fork happened, the PIVX developers started to innovate, and so we're our proof of stake coin.
One of the first, I think.
It's one of the first proof of stake with a zero coin implemented in October of last year. So first for that, and then just recently a new wallet was put out. And within a week or so, we should have the first cryptocurrency proof of stake zero coin staking. So the ability to stake privacy coins within your wallet. And so that's part of the new version of the wallet. And then innovation after innovation. So this is what stands us apart from other coins and tokens, is that we just don't rest on the code that we have. It works. It's like, well, how can we make it better? More private, because that's what we're aiming for. And then also, what are some other tools and tech that we could add that are needed? So within our privacy suite, coming up next after ZPOS or ZPOS, staking zero coin, is ZDEX, so private decentralized exchange. So that would give us a full suite of privacy implementation that's when you say, you know, who's the most private coin, we think you should be able to say PIVX because of those 5 privacy features. Yeah.
So, and for the broader public, is it hard to explain what you actually do? I mean, privacy is becoming more and more of a bigger issue, actually, yeah, with Facebook.
It's confusing to explain crypto in general, right? And I think the technology is still young, so that's just going to evolve. But when you're talking about privacy, PIVX wanted to be private because it's your right. We're not trying to give you the opportunity to hide stuff or be nefarious. It's your right to privately transact and manage your own wealth. So that's why we think privacy is your right. That's part of our manifesto. We want to offer freedom to people to be free of any nefarious activity that could happen from maybe a government or a corporation or a thief that wants to steal your identity. With our currency, we provided that shield, that protection, and that's what we want to tell people. We're a private coin because it's your right, and we think it's going to help change the economy. Banks are already starting to figure out how we can do this. Regulations are coming and have been dropped on different countries. That's just going to cause PIVX to pivot and to be like, well, we have our own exchange now, or so. I think it's more and more you might see regulations coming down, but we're pretty determined to be a real world case privacy coin.
you actually think of working together with like other bigger businesses like banks or financial institutions, or is that a no-go?
I think those institutions, you call them institutions, which is true. There are systems that are old, antiquated. I think if crypto is going to merge with anything, it would be a brand new system. So it would have to change dramatically for it to be truly a your rights, your privacy, because banks and government they have to have the control, and not to say that they're not all bad, and there's some really good people in banks and government, but in order to perpetuate the system of banking as it is now, government as it is now, I think you'll have to revolutionize the system in order for a privacy currency, in order for the banks to go, it's okay that you manage your wealth, or can we join you, but we don't need to know everything about you, and we don't want to exploit you, right? Because then it just happens, right? Corporations will hate it because we will take all those transaction data that they grab and they make money off of, will be gone if we truly transition to a crypto economy. They'll figure out other ways to make their money, but they're not going to make it off of me, right? Because it's my transactions are private.
It's a new revolution, actually.
Perfectly, yes.
Last question. What is actually your personal motivation to be active in this space, actually, blockchain space? You can also sell houses or, I don't know.
So I love branding. So it was a great project for us, exciting project. I look at cryptocurrency and probably the blockchain as more specifically as a tool that's going to solve a lot of problems. And it's one of those tools that will replace systems. So contracts and those kind of things with the blockchain. But with the economy, I think being able to manage your own wealth, to be your own bank, is a revolution idea. We can see people in other countries, the unbankable. If they have a wallet, they have a bank, and we can invest in them. We can invest in companies and people that may never be able to get a fund or a grant. But through crypto, we can say, hey, love your idea, love your project. I'm going to send you some PIV. We'll do a contract, maybe a smart contract, that when your company grows, you can pay us back or we get a percentage of your growth. But we're going to initiate these awesome new ideas and startups through crypto. So I see that as like, I'm excited to go to these other countries who they will never get a loan to start their awesome idea. But with crypto, I can send it to them instantly and work with them to start their idea, right? So that's what I'm excited about, helping startups, entrepreneurs. That's kind of my passion. Yeah.
No, amazing, and thank you very much for your talk and all the best with PIVX.
Great, thanks a lot. Take care.